Hello, this is Will Ackerson, Ethics 305. In short, ethics is a fickle beast, where every decision affects the next, and to be able to have the foresight to determine whether this is a good decision or over an extended amount of time is a very severe problem. Ethics and proper ethics have been debated almost through every age of humanity, ever since Karl Marx in Russia, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, and even Hitler, although his ethics are highly questionable and personally frowned upon. So in short, ethics has played a role in every civilization where a choice or right or wrong were available. There have been arguments, debates, and even tragedies and murders committed over ethics. These include the assassinations of President Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy. All these are tragedies, and even though they focused mainly around political views, all of these assassinations were held out because of their ethical implications that they made upon the world. Also, with this upcoming election, the LGBTQ community, global warming, and many other factors are all ethical decisions we are faced with today. I myself fall into the realist and responsibility lens of ethics. I say this because I have no fear of being wrong. I have no issues in accepting the blame for something I did wrong or taking the brunt of the problem for a fellow individual. This allows me the peace of mind to be able to understand mistakes happen, people must be held accountable, and someone has to stand up and say, yes, that was an error that occurred, whether it is my fault or not, but willing to go above and beyond to fix the wrong, in order to show that I am a person of my word. That phrase, being a person of your word, that means a lot to me. Being a person of your word instills the factors in you that you are reliable, you're dependent, you're self-aware, and you're always in pursuit of bettering any situation possible. Things that factor into my personal ethical upbringing is mainly focused on the traditional lens of ethics. I've lived on an operating farm for my entire life of 31 years. This has instilled within me the ideas of hard work, doing a job right, and always trying to make the best decision first as to avoid future problems. If you do it right the first time, you will avoid future problems. This has instilled the factors of precision and determination, because in farming there's always changing weather, equipment problems, accidents, and injuries, loss of products, injured cows, flooded cornfields, and trying to prepare for future occurrences to prevent them from occurring. Another factor of my ethical upbringing is the church I attend. It is very traditional while still being aware and discussing current events that are occurring throughout society. They do not discriminate, hate, or judge anyone because they understand everyone has a different path in life. The last and most important factor in my ethical upbringing is my support system. With my family and friends, we still meet for family lunches on Sundays. We are supportive as well as informative of the family members' decisions. Not to say that we tell them what to do and what not to do, but we do look at it as in listening to the problem, understanding the problem, relating that problem to our certain situations, and providing the best advice possible as to avoid making the same repetitive mistake over and over again. I also feel that nothing is an actual mistake, it is always the learning experience. All these factors have major impacts on my ethical views, along with many others such as friends that I choose to be around me, the ones who are always supportive and those who have alternative motives, which have ultimately led me to be having trust issues. Therefore, I tend to overthink everything and look at every situation from many different views and advantage points, because what is always good for the goose is not always good for the gander. Meaning that in business, even though this might be the best decision for top executives or CEOs, this might not be the best decision for their employees, their customers, or the reputation of a business as a whole. I also fall into the realist and responsibility lens of the ELI. I say this because I have no fear of being wrong. I have no issues in accepting the blame for something I did wrong for taking the brunt of the problem for a fellow individual. This allows me to have peace of mind and to know that I am able to be able to stand up and be held accountable for the actions and decisions for which I make. This determines my life and in future and in current business situations. Factors that I take into consideration when I make an ethical decision are: who will this affect? How does this affect me personally? What consequences will occur from these actions that occur now? What occurrences might come to light from the decisions made in the future? How will this affect the overall population of the community I live in personally, and how will this affect the world community in a whole, as far as matters of pollution, CO2 usage, and many other pollution facts and harmful facts to nature and the world? ELI finding, which I found impressively accurate, said I held a responsible and realist point of view, which is absolutely true. Although I hold traditional values in my thinking as well, considering I was raised in a little bit more of a traditional life setting within my ethical community, I've learned that many things come to light and that people must learn from their past mistakes in order to make correct decisions. As I mentioned before, there have been a lot of historical incidences that took place and have occurred because of ethical decisions made. And if we do not learn from our past mistakes, we cannot plan to advance for the future. And making the best decisions possible at the current time, being held accountable, taking responsibility, and being held down with authority to make the best decisions possible, while always keeping in the back of our mind the traditional values in which we have, will also generate a better ethical community worldwide. This is Will Ackerson for